that God's going to be working through. But we see him slowly dedicating himself to the Lord. And you know what? That's not any different than us. When God saves us and starts that process of changing us, we don't instantly become super Christian. In fact, most of us never get to what we call super Christian. And even those who we look at and say, man, that person is a super Christian. You know what their response is? Man, they're so far away from the Lord. Because they're realizing there's things that God is still working and changing on them. But that was what his response would be. His response was worship and commitment to the Lord, which is what it should be with us when God comes to us. Now, we're going to apply this now for the last several moments with some application. Number one, God comes to us as we are. Jesus said in John, you have not chosen me, but I have chosen you. John, who wrote that, wrote down Jesus' word later in his letters. He wrote, we love him because he first loved us. Why does, I don't know, I'm encouraged in the life of Jacob. The reason why I'm encouraged is this way. I always thought of Jacob as this patriarch, which he was. And I always thought of him as a spiritual giant, which he came to be. But I'm seeing Jacob in a different light. And if God worked through Jacob, then God will work through anybody. And if God came after Jacob, God will come after anyone. Sometimes we think, oh man, in order for me to do this in my life, I got to get much better before I talk to unsaved people all the time. Say, I got to get better in my life before I get saved. No, it doesn't work that way. God comes after us. You say, well, I didn't know that God came after me. Here's how you can tell. Your desire to ever come to church, your desire to ever hear the gospel is directly from God coming after you. But he comes after us as we are. And he takes us as we are and changes us and molds us what he wants us to be. That's how he works. The way he worked in Jacob is the same way he worked in Abraham. Remember, how did Abraham come to God? He was in the middle of a pagan land where they were sacrificing babies, where they were doing all these sorts of things, and God comes and says, come and follow me. But that's no different than how God went to the Apostle Paul. What was the Apostle Paul doing before he got saved? He was on the road, ready to go kill and persecute those who claim the name of Christ. And he's on the road, what happens? There's an earthquake, and things may not have been that dramatic with us, but still the same thing happened. God came after Paul. Paul didn't have a desire for God. God gave him the desire to become and trust him. God did the same for you. God did the same for me. But he comes after us as we are. And then he takes and changes us. We don't have to clean ourselves up to come to God. God will take care of that. Now, that doesn't mean we sit and live. That doesn't mean say, oh yeah, I'm going to trust Christ and still live away. It doesn't work that way either. But God comes after us as we are and changes us. Secondly, the second, I think, big application this morning. The fact that God comes after us and loves us means that he's a great God. He's a great God. He comes after us and loves us because he's a great God. God didn't come after me because I was some lovable great giant. No, God came after me because he's a great God. And he did this. He's doing the same for you. He's a great God that can be trusted. He's a God that keeps every promise. He's a God that keeps every truth. That's the way he is.